I'm the odds coach. This is part one of money management for sports betting. Money management in sports betting is simply a strategy whereby you use set bet amounts over time to reduce the risk of losing your entire bankroll. This can keep you in the game long enough that the volatility or losing streaks inherent in sports betting can't wipe you out entirely, and your success will then be governed by your winning percentage and not by the volatility that you're going to face. Now, these concepts actually come from the world of investing in stocks and bonds, but they're very different mathematically speaking. A lot of people will try to draw parallels, but really the volatility difference in sports betting makes them quite different. What I want to do here is I want to take you to the desktop and show you a spreadsheet where I simulate 256 bets or an entire NFL season worth of bets and show you the volatility that you're going to face because that is the real reason why you're going to try to limit your bet amount. Make sure that you have enough to weather any losing streak storm. What I have here is a simulation of betting 256 $110 bets at minus 110 odds. Essentially betting, spread betting the entire NFL season, every single game. Now, what I have on is the red line representing the ideal expected winnings, and that, for instance, is what would happen if you won 51% of your bets and lost 49% of your bets. But here in the winnings column and represented by the blue line, I have a simulation based on a random number generator, but with the winning percentage applied to it. And what you can see from that is the volatility over this short sample size of wins and losses. You can see wild swings here in the amount that both are won and lost. So, for instance, if we look at an example like this one, at 55% over 256 bets, you could still expect to end up that season minus $1,000. And so what you need as a sports bettor is to be sure that you're going to have enough bank at the end of that to continue to place wagers. And that's where money management is going to come in and help you. Now here, I have another spreadsheet which is actually 10,000 bets placed over time, same conditions. But what you can see from this simulation is that the blue line, the volatility of the blue line, though numerically it is just as high as with the 256 bets, it's approaching the red line, and the fluctuation there is much less. And that's because over time, the blue line should approach and approximate the red line with much less volatility. But the important thing with money management is that you're able to play long enough that your winning percentage becomes the main factor in your success in sports betting. Hopefully that illustrates the volatility inherent in sports betting and underscores the importance of money management. Now, the next step is to determine a unit or bet size that's appropriate to you as a sports bettor, and it's a very individual thing. The first thing you need to determine is the time period over which you're looking to be successful. The longer the time period, the better, because it allows you to place more bets over time. That'll help you eliminate the volatility factor and make your success more a factor of the winning percentage that you've attained. Now, the next step is to determine the amount of money that you're comfortable losing over that time period. And I say losing because gambling is inherently risky. No amount of calculation is going to totally eliminate that risk. So you want to be comfortable that you're only investing money that you have set aside for entertainment. The next is determining the amount of bets that you're going to be able to place over that time period. So once again, ideally, let's say if it's over a year, you're going to take into account the amount of bets that you're going to place on MLB, NBA, NFL over the course of that time period. Let's work through a quick example here. Let's say that your time period is a full year, and you know that you're going to be able to invest $250 every quarter, or $1,000 over the course of a year in sports betting. You don't need to determine it based upon the deposits that you have now at the sports book, just the capital that you have access to over the course of the year, the amount of money that you're comfortable losing over the course of the year, to help determine that unit. The next, you need to determine the type of sports bettor that you are. So first of all, are you a frequent sports bettor? Are you going to be able to place a large number of wagers over the course of the year, or are you only going to be dabbling game here, game there? For this to be successful, you're going to want to have at least 100 games over the course of that year-long time period, but ideally closer to 1,000. Now, if you're placing any more than 1,000 wagers over the course of a year, there is risk inherent with the fact that you're not properly handicapping games. So let's aim for numbers between 100 and 1,000 over the course of a year. That gives us percentages to work with. Now, the next important factor is your comfort with loss versus your expectation. So if you're extremely comfortable losing the money you have, but you're looking to either win a large amount of money or lose it all, then you're a little bit more open to risk. And that means that your unit can be in the high range. If you're a professional sports bettor, you're very risk adverse because you're living on your bankroll, and you can never eat into it because that's just like destroying your business. So those percentages generally work out to be between 1 and 4%. On average, if you're an average sports bettor who shops for lines, pays very attention to the bets very close attention to the bets that they're placing, then probably a 2% bet is appropriate on all of your wagers. Once again, if you're a professional, 1% or possibly even less is the appropriate amount of money, but bearing in mind that your bankroll is going to be much higher than the average sports bettor. Now, what that looks like is if you're the more risky bettor, at $40 per bet, $1,000 a bet over the course of a year, you're going to be risking $40,000 in hopes that your winning percentage is going to be high enough that that's going to balance out. Likewise, if you're betting 2%, you're only risking that $20,000. You're passing through your money 20 times over the course of the year in hopes of achieving a profit. And at that 1%, well, you're pretty much just betting that $10,000 on to be profitable as a professional sports bettor. Those percentages are generally good guidelines to follow. Those, once again, come from the financial industry, but the math around them actually works out relatively well for large samples in sports betting and should be adhered to closely. Now, that's enough for one video. I'll follow up later with some other money management videos, particularly some betting strategies and also some tracking strategies that are important as you try to improve your betting and limit your risk. Thanks for watching.